Welcome, people, once again to Wayfarianfx. Please, if you're for the first time, if you're looking at this channel, please like, subscribe for important news of what is in regards with foreign exchange and also in regards to what is happening around the world. So, this is the weekly video of we are going to understand as to what are the important news which will be coming in the FX market, and along with that, also a very important thing, because this video is going to be very, very special, not just for FX trading, for also for the people who would like to know about things that are happening around the world. So, without wasting a lot of time, first let's understand as to what happened this week. Now, if you look at the news that came, we see that there has been, on an average, I believe, looking at the news from Monday, December 16th till Friday, December the 20th, I see that there has been a lot of positive news for US dollar. Yes. And especially the news that came on Thursday, unemployment claims. If you look at it, there is very important sign that is going to come in the next week. That is, you see that the news was positive. Now, because the news was positive as compared to the expected, the next week, okay, so let's just put it forward as from December 23rd till December 27th. Now, if you look at the next week, which is going to come in, this news is going to be very, very important. Why? Is because if you look at the entire week, there is not a single important news except for the same, that is unemployment claims. Now, there is a forecast of 218 as to come in, because we know that last time it was 220, which was a positive. Yeah. However, the expected rate, even if it is more than 220, it can go up to like 223 or maybe 224, which could still look positive, correct? Even if it goes above 218, it will still look positive here. However, considering this, okay, 220 to the forecast that it has been. So 220, which was earlier last Thursday that we received. The previous was 242, correct? Even if this comes as 223, that is for the previous weeks, this means as compared to the previous week, this is going to be still negative for US. So this is, I believe, a very a twister in terms of understanding whether, even if you get 219 and the news is positive, understand that the previous was 220, and considering that, it should, it is not, or it might not be. So just understand this. Whatever I just said is because this is how the market might react, and sometimes it happens when we feel that how the news was positive, still the market went opposite, and so on and so forth. So I think this is going to be very critical. That's on a Thursday, but considering the entire week, I believe that the news is good. The market is going to be for gold and for US dollars. So we are talking about gold in particular, as you know that this channel is dedicated to gold, especially. Yes, we see that gold can be in a range bound because there are a lot of technicals. So all the market makers, it is going to be their day, and for the retail traders, I think it is going to be very, very tough. So one of the best suggestions is we stay away from trading during this last week. I'm during from December 23rd to 26th. It's because there is not a lot of fundamental news coming up. However, yeah, since it is going to be on a range bound, the range might be very fast as well. A lot of liquidity sweep as well. So within the range, so I believe that is a caution that you might have to take. Now, apart from this, there is one important thing that I would like to cover in terms of the news which are happening around the world. Yes. Now, these are the news wherein I would want you to consider, and I believe that is something that you will have to check into, because when you look at the news which is going in around the world, then it is very important for you to understand, like for example, Russia. Now, when you look at Russia, you see, let's begin with this. The very important thing to know. Russia has asked, I mean, the foreign ministers and people who take care of the tourism around has asked the Russians not to travel to the United States of America, to Canada, or to other EU countries, I'm sorry, as well. Now, this is a very strange news coming up, right? Because why is it that Russia doesn't want its citizens to travel to these places? That means something is cooking in the background, which we are yet not aware. However, the signs are you have to be cautious about it. You have to know, right? Now, apart from Russia, we have several other countries as well which are involved in the war, and we would certainly get back to it as to what are the countries. Of course, Ukraine Ukraine has been coming up with excuse me, on a back front in terms of negotiations with Russia. But Russia being in the war, of course, they just don't want to stop with Ukraine. That is another thing that we have to keep in our minds, because there are a lot of things that are happening in the background as well. So that I think that might affect as well to a lot of things. Now coming to the Gulf area, where we have got, of course, Palestine, which is certainly one of those places where I believe this is one thing that we can just put in as to we expect peace in terms of Palestine. However, we understand that it is a war that is happening, which is very, very serious and critical, which is affecting the gold market big time whenever there is an attack from Israel or from Gaza Strip to Israel back again, right? So I think this is one thing that we will have to consider in terms of what's the situation in Palestine or Palestine, right? But apart from that, very major important role which has been played by one of these countries connecting to Palestine is, of course, the counter country, which is Israel. Now, Israel is also, of course, trying to make its boundaries, in a nation as compared to conquering a lot of other countries, not just Palestine, but also, trying to go onto a greater Israel part. Now, when we understand this, they have their direct attacks on Iran, which we have seen right now very recently, and Iran has been a country which has been involved throughout the Israel-Palestine, including the Israel. What do you call the Syria as well, right? Now, America, so to say, is one of the major factors is because America is supplying to Ukraine. America is involved in, America is also involved in, of course, a lot of other things, which we see in terms of course, with Israel, and it's against Iran as well. Now, in terms of Iran, let me just tell you one thing about Iran is that Iran is on a verge. Okay, why there is so much of fire between all these countries of Israel or United States of America is that when we look at it, Iran is on a verge of announcing or declaring itself as a nuclear power, and if that thing happens, then this is going to be haywire, which can happen anytime in the month of Jan. So this is a sign for you. Now, all I'm saying is, if Iran declares a nuclear power and declares itself as a nuclear power in the month of January itself, which is the actual target of Iran to come to that point, so that it can announce being a nuclear power. This can be a news which you can see as an earthquake in the Forex market, and you will see things are or will be fluctuating at a disastrous level. And I believe this is going to be an exponential opportunity for everyone to grab it, because this would be one of those things wherein even if you have low investment, even if you have big investment, it doesn't matter. You can make 10 to 100 times more in a single day, considering the fact that what can happen, because this is going to be a blow for the United States and Israel both, and that is what it is. The war is on so much of fire, because anyhow Israel would want to make Iran weak as well in terms of its support and all the things that are happening. And of course, America will certainly support that, because America wouldn't like that too. Right now, very recently, there has been a war between, there has been an attack between Israel and Syria back as well. As soon as Syria got in the, got with the rebellious group, got into it. I believe if you look at Syria now, there has been a crazy effect on the from Israel, and I think this is the time where very soon, very soon, maybe between the month of January, as we know that the events are big. In the month of January, we have U.S. President Mr. Trump, taking into the office and taking control, and so it's going to matter a lot in those terms, in terms of the fluctuation in the market as well. Then we have got Iran, who is on the verge of declaring very important news, or else just going on the verge of declining empire, right? Possibility is anyway. So we have to always understand that this month is going to be crazy, and if it is, then why not make the best of it? Yes. Now this is the section when I would like to know. Let's come back to our section of technical analysis, and to understand as to what might happen, let's start from the monthly view. Yes. Now, when you consider at the monthly view, yeah, now we have seen quite a good, and if you look at it, this is looking downwards, correct? Now, here are the few things which I want you to understand. Now, if you look at it, this month, market has suddenly gone high, trying to go on further, wasn't able to, and just closed down further. Now, if you look at this particular trend over here, that is coming up right here, yes. Now you see that there is a possibility, because we have got 1 week which is remaining. However, 2550 is what you will have to look into on a monthly basis to either end with, and if it goes above this level of 263, 26335 or so, it will certainly go above after that. So probably this week is going to, which we will understand in the daily and the 4-hour basis as to how this week can happen. But understand that for 1 week, of course, almost near to 1 week or 1 day extra, which is left, and we see that we have to understand that market can give you this range over here, trying to reach this 2550, because that's when we can understand that if it crosses between 2550 and 2530, then we can expect the selling trend entering in the month of Jan. Yes. However, let's understand this from a different point of view as well. Let's understand it from a 4-hour point of view. Now, 4-hour is certainly what we would like to understand, is because now, excuse me, 4-hour is certainly showing you a little bit of downward trend since a long time. Correct. Now, if you look at this and try and understand that, yes, we do have a buy zone still active, which is of course at a very good rate of 2585, right, and 2595 or so. Now, considering this point, we understand if you look at the last point, when the market fell down, of course, it did not cross below this. Just from there, it gave a back up again. Okay, try to again break down this area, but since we have a fair value gap here, it wasn't able to, and it just moved back again. Yeah. Now, right now it is at 2623, correct? So 2623. So what we understand from here is if the market crosses this, yeah. Now this, I think, on a daily basis, you would understand this better. Let me put it across this way. So we go step by step as well. It did not cross this after it came down, correct? And provided we know that it went ahead. Now, if we look at this stick, it came here, it came down, then again moved up, right? Now, if you look at this stick, which is over here at 2633, right now the market is 2623, yeah, 0.04. But however, when the market starts, and if you see if the market goes above this point on the daily basis, if the market after a day closes above 2633, then there is certainly a strong possibility that it will cross 25 and reach to this level of the sell zone of 2666 to 2668 to 70. Now this can be a good selling point, of course, yes. However, if it crosses above this, then the market will certainly try and reach 2685 and try to reach back to its earlier one wherein it tried of 2715 and 2716. Yes, from there. So these are the levels where you can get good supply or good sell if it doesn't crosses above, and you have a better sell position over here. Okay, until then you have your buy to the range that we discussed. So make sure that you keep that in mind. Okay. Now coming back to the understanding of 4 hours. Now as we discussed it already. Now it's coming back over here. So if it goes above 2633, yeah, 2633, this particular line, if it goes above that, we can expect it to reach this sell zone of 2664 to 2668. Now this is where you will not directly put sell unless it comes down and crosses. If it reaches 2666, yeah, and if from 2666 you will directly still not put the sell position, but you will rather wait it to cross 2660, and you know that you get a confirmation, and then it might just turn back to 265 and then further down to 26 back to its inner square one of 2630. Correct. However, this is what the buy news is. So you got to wait, and then if it's going further, then you buy, and then you close, and of course wait for this sell zone. However, as we understand, considering the news that is there for the coming week, so we expect the movement to be in a range bound, not a very high, or however, in the sell section, if you look at the 4 hours, we understand that the moment, if it is not crossing above 2633, then it is suddenly going down, and for that sell position that you can take up to, then you can go back and take your first small profit at 2624, go back to 2615 to 2605 anytime you want, because you have a very good range after that, and that is a long term. You can wait till 2685 to 2660, anywhere in between. You can close your profit along with it, and make sure that over here you wait and not make the decision in haste. However, if it crosses this, is where our next confirmation is going to be on a 4-hour cases, that if it crosses by this, maybe after a week or so, we can expect it, or within a week, we can expect it to further go down to this range directly. So you have a bigger range of sell position. After it crosses 2585, we have 2530 as a very, very strong support, and rejection line too. So this is, I believe, is going to be a very good gameplay. However, if you look at the range bound, because we understand that there is no fundamental news, the market will be in the range bound. And if it is the range bound, then you know the range bound already. Yes. So 2660, and we've got 2585. This is a very good range between this thing. You can always expect it to go up and down, and make sure that you trade safe, is because if when it is a market maker's week, you have to be very, very careful, or rather just avoid. All right. So that is all from my end. Of course, you just follow that on daily basis, probably on a Sunday, that is tomorrow night. We'll try and upload for the daily analysis of for December 23rd. In that case, I will take, so I'll take myself out of it. Now, you have a wonderful day. And thank you for being a part of us. Please like, subscribe, and share, and take advantage. And if you get the profit of that, please do comment, or at least leave it a message. But thank you. You have a wonderful day and a great weekend, and the next coming up week.